2025 is here, fellas.
Man, that's crazy.
Brand new year. Brand new year.
Shout out to the new year, new me people at the gym.
That's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already seen it.
Yeah, that's why I started my gym membership before the year ended and the new one started. So I'm not going to be one of those guys. You know
I've already picked out my stool softeners that I'm going to be taking this year.
This man says, yo,
for
you out of control.
Cleanse.
This dude.
Did you get a AARP card yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the AARP crew.
Yeah, that is correct.
And get your discounts.
Oh, my God. This is a goddamn shame. I asked a woman at my job, she's like, how old are you? I said, I'm about to turn 47. And she's like in her 70s. And I said, yo, what age do they start sending the AARP information? She said 50. I said, goddamn.
Yeah.
I got 1 foot in the grave, dog. You know what I'm saying? This is terrible.
That's how the way it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, we are in a brand new year. You know, it's everybody's got their plans, you know, and you know, there's already stuff stirring up. We'll talk about a little bit, you know, as the show goes on, man. But Mick, I know you wanted to talk about this real quick topic. I got a chance to look at it a little bit, but you know, with this little tidbit I saw earlier.
You know what? Here's the question: are WNBA players thirst traps? You know, look, years ago, you know, we all knew how the WNBA players look to women. You know, they look kind of tomboyish, you know, dieseled out, you know what I mean? Bull dagger, whatever you want to call them.
Brolic.
You know, right, exactly. Mountain lionish, whatever.
I've never heard mountain lionish. That's a good one.
Yeah, we're gonna get fucking clipped for saying this shit. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, man. You know, dude, have you seen? And you know what? It's good that it's turning in the direction that it's in, because you know the WNBA players, even on the college level, they've just been frowned upon. They're not really good to look at. You know what I'm saying? And now you take Angel Reese, for instance, right? Angel Reese has been, what's the word they use? Sexualized, you know?
I thought you was gonna say Caitlin Clark.
well, no, Caitlin is the same thing, man. Like Caitlin, look at the intro when they're entering the game through the tunnel. They're wearing their dresses. I mean, these girls look like supermodels now, man. I mean, it's not like
I haven't seen an WNBA game in a long time, so I did not see the intros of them coming in with the dresses.
Hey, listen, man, I'm talking about, it's almost like going to a runway show, a fashion show, seeing these women now. It's no longer wearing the J's, the gym shorts, the cornrows going back, you know what I'm saying? You know, you don't see that shit anymore. Do-rags, you know.
But are you surprised, though? Because remember,
you see fucking do-rags and shit, you know what I'm saying?
But are you surprised, though? Because, listen, every time you see an NBA player walking in, they got the most, you know who had the most ridiculous outfits? Rajon Rondo at Westbrook. You know what I'm saying?
Westbrook, without a doubt. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's other dudes that I'm like, hey, yo.
The like, NFL for instance, football players, too. They be dressing weird.
Remember back in the 90s when David Stern was the commissioner? Mm-hmm. It's like he had a dress code. Everybody had to be suited and booted. It was in suits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I think after Iverson came in with the tats and the cornrows and everything, and the big baggy shorts and the jewels and everything. I think that's when everything changed. Where it was like, whatever, just wear whatever y'all want.
Yeah, exactly. I actually think that change is good, man. You know, going back to the WNBA, you know, that's a good thing. You know, everybody wants to sit here and talk shit about Angel Reese. Oh, you know, she's doing these videos where she's half naked and
I mean, she's taking these pictures like all voluptuous and all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I haven't seen any of that. Can you pull that up, please?
Well, he sent me he sent me the link earlier.
Yeah. Go on the thing there, and you should be able to pull it up.
So pull it up here. Pull it up here.
KNS has a big smile on his face. You know what I'm saying? Because he's ready to see this shit, right?
Yeah, because I'll be quite honest. I really, I've seen a few WNBA games in my time, and never not once did I say, man, that girl, boy, she,
this is what I'm saying.
Well, let's talk about the context of like why we're talking about her in particular, because you sent me the video where, and listen, I'm somebody who believes that, beyond sports, when you are an entertainer, from the music side of things, film, sports, there's something, and some people would say fortunate or unfortunate, that sometimes it's a little hard to go outside, and not be approached. It's just, it is what it is, man. If you're in front of a camera a lot, people are gonna know who you are, and just naturally people, not me, but there's people that they just want to take a picture with celebrities. So I guess like if you want to explain like the video that you had sent me, as it concerns her approach with what happened.
Well, basically, Angel Reese says that she's scared to stop at gas stations because she is so pretty and too many people roll up to her car. It's obvious, right? And the reason why that she did that, come on, man. She's doing it for attention. She's smart. You understand what I'm saying? And, let her do that. Let her flaunt her shit. You understand what I'm saying? Just like I said, this is great for the WNBA. Finally, we got somebody, you understand what I'm saying, that's making people want to watch. That's the thing about it. They sit there, they tear Shaq apart when he went on her show, and I guess he was saying some sexual things or whatever the case may be, but look what has happened ever since he went on her show. Now her show is big. Now she's doing these half naked videos. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, this, we should associate this with, what's that fucking shit? What's the name of the damn the thing? OnlyFans. I'm not saying that every WNBA player should do a OnlyFans thing or get on Pornhub or whatever. I'm not saying none of that. But what I'm saying is that it's creating more money, come to the games, watch us play. You know what I'm saying? We look good now. We don't look like, we don't look like a bunch of bush monkeys out there. You know what I'm saying? And whatever.
You think though? Do you think maybe her approach? You think maybe her approach though? Because see, my the way I looked at it was, I feel like, because she's filming all this, she sees people coming to her like to take. I mean, like naturally, you think that's gonna happen, but it's like she almost like made a spectacle out of it and made it like she was almost like this quasi victim. Like, oh man, I'm famous and I'm constantly getting attacked.
It's all
but you got your phone in here, and I'm like, come on, yo.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing, man. And then here's the thing. What I like about Angel is that she's pretty much saying, man, fuck all of y'all. Y'all can sit here and talk all this shit, saying that, oh, you're inappropriate for wearing this. No, I'm going to fucking do it. I
personally don't care. Yeah, that stuff is like, it's really to each his own at the end of the day. But, it's just that video. When you're talking about people that, again, are like paying tickets to go see you and they're fans of yours, and you kind of treat them almost like beneath you, people pick up on that. So that's what I'm saying. If that approach was like the right approach, she could dress however the hell she wants. Who cares, I was just saying from the perspective of like how she went about like just putting everything. She didn't put the person on camera, but just the whole interaction, and it made it seem like, oh, they're crazy for coming to. You sign up for this, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, it's a double-edged sword in my opinion, right? Because here's the thing, right? I believe in individuality and having the freedom to express yourself, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, these professional athletes, these entertainers, you know, a lot of kids look up to these people as role models. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So if there's a young girl who's looking up to anybody, Angel Reese or whoever, and you see this person that you look up as a role model doing these risky things, you see what I'm saying, dressed in a certain way, you know what I mean? These young children, these young girls are impressionable, right? So they think that's okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think when you look at it from that perspective, right, nowadays, a lot of stuff that's acceptable, right, used to be taboo, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like this whole OnlyFans thing and stuff like that. Like, if a chick was doing that back when we was 20, we'd say she was a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nowadays, everybody says, "Oh, she's getting her money." You understand what I'm saying?
She's hustling.
So the lines of morals have been shifted.
I agree.
Like
right.
Certain things have gone out the window. You know what I'm saying? You remember back in the days, you know, it was like certain things, like you had pride, right? You know, you'd be like, yo, my friend is coming to the house, coming to check me, coming to hang out. And your mother would be like, oh, hell no, he not till you clean up this damn house. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have nobody say my house is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And it was things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You had pride, and certain things was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't want nobody to clown you because you had pride. But nowadays, and she's like, nobody gives a shit. Pride is out the window because it's all about the mighty dollar. You understand what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah. So, yeah, but is that a good thing?
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
But let's not get it twisted, because you all remember back in the day with 2 Live Crew. That's how it all got started. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but 2 Live Crew were hated on because of that. You know what I'm saying?
2 Live Crew or 2 Live Crew, like right.
Right.
But they did open up the doors, you know, for that, to give a lot of
They opened the door for freedom of speech. You see what I'm saying?
They did. You know, and freedom of nakedness, and take your clothes off, you know. Freedom.
Hey man, they're responsible. They're responsible for you having that parental advisory sticker. They stem from them.
It's stem from them. Correct. 2 Live Crew.
It's a history lesson for you know, Miami dudes.
Yeah, there you
go. Man.
So I guess the segue, you know, we're talking about basketball. You know, pretty big story going on right now, as it concerns our Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Butler. I mean, listen, you know, it's been pretty much in the air that there has been issues as it concerns Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat organization. And there was an interview that stemmed from, I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday, where he basically is kind of putting it out there like that he's looking for the exit. So today, the Miami Heat made the official announcement that he's going to be suspended for 7 games. Mm-hmm. I mean, let me get y'all a take on him, but I mean, I really think this is the beginning of the end of his tenure in Miami Heat.
It's definitely the beginning of the end. First of all, you don't cross Pat Riley, okay? That's number one. You messing with the Godfather, all right? Shaq tried it, and Shaq left. You know what I'm saying? Shaq can sit here and say publicly, oh, I love Pat Riley. We don't have any issues. We know that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Shaq spoke his mind, and Pat Riley was like, you and him can get out of here. Shaq was defending a player that Pat Riley was getting on, and Pat Riley was like, nah, you can go with him. And then he was gone. You see what I'm saying? So here's the thing about Jimmy Butler, right? Mm-hmm. When Jimmy Butler first came to the team, everybody's like, oh, we have a new superstar and blah, blah, blah. First of all, I had this conversation with a dude at my job for the past 2 years. And I'm like, yo, Butler is a star, but he's not a superstar. He's not the guy. No. He's been balling out, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen. Mm-hmm. Now he changed the tune. I said, listen, I told you 2 years ago, he's not the guy. I said, he balled out during the bubble, and they didn't win. But that wasn't his fault, because a lot of people didn't pull their weight, number one, and a lot of people were injured. So he balled out. The next time they went to the finals, it was a team effort. He didn't really ball out. You know what I'm saying? And my problem with Butler is he load managed the entire season, right? Take the year that Boston won the chip. You load manage the entire season. So you figure you're load managing, you're saving your body for the playoffs, and then you get injured in the first round. Right? And then you have the nerve to be at a function with a drink in your hand. Somebody comes up to you on the camera and says, "Oh, what you think?" And he's like, "Well, if I was there, Boston wouldn't have won." I said right there when Pat Riley responded to that, I said, this is curtains for Butler. It's not going to go well for him. Because once you said something and Riley was like, put up or shut up, you know what I'm saying? And you know how Butler is already. He likes to chat. And he went back. It wasn't going to be a good situation. You know what I'm saying? So now he goes out here and his team is saying on the win the other night against New Orleans, he didn't play the hardest. He only scored 9 points against this loss at home. Talking about he doesn't have the love for basketball. Listen, we all know he wanted an extension. He didn't get it, but he's already getting $49 million. Why would we offer you an extension if your numbers are steady declining and we're getting less usage out of you? You're already getting a bag. You know what I'm saying? Now, who in their right mind comes to Miami, which is a major market? We got beaches. We got bad bitches. We got no snow. We got, what we got, we got state tax or federal tax or something? Like, we only got one tax.
State tax.
Okay, bam. We got federal tax. And you want to leave? First of all, you can't. You was in a cold place like Chicago, right? Then you went to Minnesota, another freezing place. Then you went to Philly, or is it the other way around, right? You went to Philly, another freezing place, all right? So Chicago's not really one of those it cities like that, right? Neither is Minnesota. Philly, you can kind of say, right? Because Philly is kind of like New York, right? Because really the hot markets is like Miami, Atlanta, New York, L.A., Houston. You know what I'm saying? There's certain places that, like, if you're in that market, you're like in the scene, right?
Right.
And you talking about you don't want to play for Miami? This is you're willing to go to your 5th team? The only team that you ever got this far was with Miami to the finals twice. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always knew he wasn't the guy. He had the potential to be the guy.
Right.
Right.
But he let his foot off the gas. You know what I'm saying? So if he leaves, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm at that point too. I mean, if you were, invested in going on the court, because he's getting paid a lot of money, but at the same time, man, like the season's still going on. You're the star player of the team, and you're not producing. If you don't want to be there, man, like, I mean, I'm for, like, the Heat just need to they need to figure out how to just get him out. He's going to be as a cancer to the team at that point.
Miami is a tropical utopia. Why wouldn't you want to be here? You know what I'm saying? Again, you got to the finals twice, bro. We just need a few more pieces to the puzzle, but you got to do your part. You got to do your part. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. It is what it is. I respect his grind of how he got to where he is. He was he went to a junior college. You know what I'm saying? He grinded his way to the NBA. He grinded his way to being a starter. He grinded his way to being an elite player. I get it. Somewhere along the line, his head got too big. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, you came to the Heat. You ended up in beer commercials. You ended up in all types of endorsements and commercials and stuff like that. I mean, come on, bro. Like it was working for you here. You just needed to put forth that effort. You understand what I'm saying?
Pretty much. I mean, and look, let's not act like he didn't have some issues in his other teams, so it's not, this isn't a new thing. It's like now he's got issues here in Miami. And look, the argument has been that that the Heat didn't provide the help, so to speak, to get the team to the next level. Some can make arguments, but then we go back and we're like, they went to the finals twice, once in and once out of the bubble. So
that is true. But at the same time, I will say the Heat has been on this path of making good players out of like low draft picks and no name players. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Which is great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where you can save money to pay these unknowns and develop them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But what do you use that money for? You use that money to pay a superstar, and the superstar didn't get us across the finish line. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's either get yourself a superstar that can do that, or you know what I'm saying, get yourself a star, and then add another star and develop one of those or two of those guys to be the superstar. You understand what I'm saying? Because listen, we got 3 chips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would have been nice if they would have won in the bubble. I would have had a 3rd ring with the Heat.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Saying? Also, shout to you getting the shout to you getting that Panthers ring though. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess let's transition to some hip hop. You know, we got we've got an album to review. But right before we got on, and I sent y'all the link. A particular somebody dropped a freestyle with one of the top producers, upcoming producers, Conductor Williams.
Conductor Williams is getting a lot of work out here, bro.
A lot of work out here. I mean, listen, Drake came out with a freestyle, and he is. I don't want to say. I mean, yeah, he's answering he's rebuttaling some things, but he's going at a ton of people, and some of the people you're kind of scratching your head at, be like, "Yo, are you really?" Oh wait, I think I
found it.
You found it?
Yeah.
So basically,
let me see if I can share it.
Okay,
but go ahead.
So like the short of it, man. Listen, I mean, obviously, unless you've been under a rock, he took the bad end of the Kendrick Drake battle. Obviously, Kendrick universally was the winner of that battle. We've already discussed it on the show. So, and yeah, here it goes. So basically, man, he's going at LeBron. He's going at Kendrick. He's going at Big Sean and a host of others. And lyrically, I'll say, like, it's not. I mean, he's saying some stuff, but I don't know. I mean, it's like I want people to hear it, but I kind of take it as like sour grapes. That's just like the best way to put it. Even though, again, lyrically, to be fair, and you mentioned this earlier before we hopped on, he was rapping. He was rapping, and he was saying some things that really correlate with everything that's happened in the last like 7-8 months, or almost like a calendar year at this point. But yeah, if you want to go hit that right now. And this is produced by Conductor Williams. Like, again, has been working with like a host of people at this point. But yeah,
Conductor's winning right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's hear it. Let me know if you can hear this.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The summer is over, I missed it. Barrel was smoking, I kissed it. Fair showed us the renters from Texas, it's unrealistic. Cut him the check, cause I hate reviewing the budgets and limits. Just pay the man. The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know the shit is personal to us, and it wasn't just business. Analyzing behavioral patterns is someone suspicious. Niggas was never happy for me when I run up the digits, or when I'm breaking world records still as I guzzle a Guinness, or when I get my 5th made back cause the color is different. Remember we traded watches, I gave you the Arabic dial, you gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure convinced the gang that shit was rooted in love when it isn't. Showed me how different we are, there's blessings in juxtaposition. I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons, it come with the distance. Figured we was always gonna be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken, the loyalty wasn't a given. It's all good. And niggas cry the blues for you saying it wasn't malicious. Talking about we family, well I'm not the cousin to visit. God forbid we ever gotta tarnish your public image. All that brother talk as if I really discovered a sibling. 6 degrees, my memories retrieving our humble beginnings. Niggas wanted trouble, grabbed a shovel and dug up some ditches. Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Huh.
That was a body double and we done dozens of switches. Niggas tried to light the front gate up, it wasn't for Christmas. I said a prayer that morning for Sean and it wasn't religious. It came from a place of desperation and utter submission. Rapping was over for now, it came like a sudden decision. I don't give a fuck about you snakes or these other musicians. Niggas started fucking with my family, I'm going to prison. And we all crashing out together, my brother's complicit. Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk and was an exhibit? I'm trying to blow the doors off that bitch when you touch the ignition. But then I gotta remember who made this shit come to fruition. It's me. Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Signal conversations where I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see their empire crumble on judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician. It's funny to see you all rejoicing and hugging and kissing. What are we celebrating? I'll rent out the club at Edition. Nothing was the same with all you bitches and nothing's forgiven. But next time, bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian. The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga. That's fucking crazy.
So, first off, I hope that he actually paid Conductor for this beat, because since he decided to put out a poor quality freestyle on the internet and then take it down, that usually means he's not actually going to really release this record. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure Conductor should have got paid for this. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Nah, I just feel like, listen, Drake, at this point, like, you're beating a dead horse, man. You know what I'm saying? You just come out with good music and move forward. Like, why are we addressing all this bullshit now? You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking Kendrick just dropped that album. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Anybody who likes the Kendrick album, right, they're going to look at this and be like, and go right back to the Kendrick album. You know what I'm saying? Release good music, bro, and move on. Like, if you felt that you won that battle and you didn't lose, then act like it and stop addressing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
Just act like it and move forward. Act like it didn't faze you. So when people come up to you, hey, Drake, so what you think about Kendrick? Be like, who? Whatever, nigga. And keep it moving.
I agree 1,000%. I mean, I've been saying for a while, I think the approach should be that he needs to take a step back and put out like either a quality album or a series of quality records to kind of overshadow the fact that, Kendrick, he won that battle. And the thing about it is like Kendrick's run is didn't just end. He's got the Super Bowl coming up in a month. He's got the tour that's already about to kick off. So that freestyle is like a pebble in like an ocean. Is if it means like he's trying to get a reaction. Now, look, to be fair, like he was rapping and whatnot, but it's just what was the overall goal here?
What was the goal?
And from what I gather, I don't know if this was true, but I was reading like Conductor Williams had it up and then he took it down, but I don't know to the same point, like where it's like he pulled it down and then like me and Drake pulled it down and then like he told him to pull it down. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess us being men in a situation like this, man, you kind of feel there's a certain way to pivot, and you take Nas's when that whole battle with Jay-Z happened, right? Now he did drop Ether, right? But you know what? Ether was part of his best album since it was written, and that was the beginning of like I think the second point of his career. Now Drake's already been in the game like 10 plus years. So does he have that like second resurgence following this? And that's what I'm waiting for. I think we really just need to hear good quality music from him. And I don't think his fans are going to steer away, but that's the way to approach this, man.
His fans are not going to abandon him. Listen, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, during that battle, even though Kendrick bodied him, he wasn't just battling Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was going at a whole bunch of other people who was coming at him. So it wasn't a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a fair fight or not, there's always an outcome, and the outcome is he lost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
regardless of that fact, just come out and do your Drake shit and make good music, fam. That's all you got to do. Your fans are waiting for good music. They just want to hear good music. They want to go to the... Listen, Drake has more music that hits in the club than Kendrick does, okay? So anybody who goes to the club who wants to dance and enjoy themselves under a few drinks, grind up on some chicks, okay? The man got hits. Come out with more hits. Yeah. That's all you got to do. That's it. Forget about this battling shit. You ain't got nothing to prove, bro. You've been proven already. You battled Common. You know what I'm saying? Who else did he go up against that he was talking shit?
Pusha T.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you don't have nothing to prove at this point. Just go out there, make your feed your fans, make your bread, and let that shit roll. Yo, I swear to God, I feel like it's they entourage who be stroking them, bro. You gotta say something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
I think that's what it is, dog.
That could be. Yeah.
Like, listen, I like
the
Drake.
Other thing too, man. Like
Yeah. Go ahead. What you saying?
No, I never like disliked him at all. I mean, matter of fact, when I first heard him, I was like, oh shit, like who's this dude? And even though I'm not like a super fan, I respect dude. Like, you have to. But the other part about this whole thing is is this whole thing he's got going with Universal. You know, like that's a whole other side story. That it's like, I just don't know I don't know if he's backtracking on that. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
That was corny for him to do that in the first place. In my opinion. Because you're both on the same fucking label. So why would the label undercut? I mean, it very well could happen because whether or not they undercut him or not, they're still generating a ton of money on the other end. So it's like a Libra scale. They probably did the numbers of like, yeah, if we do this, we'll do this, and that's more than this. All right, let's do it. Hey, it could happen. It could happen, but it just sounds like a bitch move. The other thing that's cool about Drake, you know what I'm saying? I think Drake was always talented. You know, like, listen, bro, the man can sing. He definitely can spit. You know what I'm saying? He spit on Ninth Wonder beat. You know what I'm saying? He spit on a J Dilla beat that Swiss decided to release or play on the internet against his wishes. Which is the only reason why we heard it. Whatever. The dude is dope, man. Like, when I was DJing in the clubs, I had more records from Drake to play than I had
man,
Kendrick.
I played a lot of Drake records too when I was spinning. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like, yo, listen, Drake, man, you're probably not listening to our podcast because we're not that big yet.
You know, you never know.
But just make some just make good music, bro. I will support it. You know what I'm saying? I got to support my light-skinned brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, yo, like, how interesting would a Conductor Williams and Drake little EP project be? I mean, I feel he needs to do stuff like that, man. Like, to go outside the box.
Yeah, and listen, like Nas, right? Take Nas for instance, right? What I like about Nas, essentially, is you're so successful longevity-wise, whether it's you made a lot of money as a rapper, or you parlayed that into mass appeal records, you know what I'm saying? Or you parlayed that with all of your Silicon Valley investments, right? You're set. So now you have the financial freedom to where you can put out the type of music that you would like to do, and it's no sweat off your back if your fans turn on you on that or if it doesn't sell, because you're already set. So you're not chasing the bag with your music. You can do whatever you want to do creatively, right? I feel like Drake can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He can do the same thing. He's crossed like every single genre. He's done Afrobeat. He's did a record with Bad Bunny. He's done his commercial shit, his R&B shit, his goddamn underground records, reggae shit. Like, come on, bro. You can do whatever you want, bro.
Right.
But at the end of the day, just make good music. Whatever genre that you decide to go into, just make good music. That's all.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay attention to this battle shit, man. The battle shit is for egos. Your ego should be through the roof already. You know what I'm saying?
I guess we'll see, man. I mean, you know, like I said, like Kendrick's already, like at this point, he's not even focusing on him. He's already like, he's out of here. And I think Drake, I think the best approach, man, is just bow out for a little bit and work on some records. And
just act like the shit didn't happen
creative.
and just put out records. Just act like that whole shit didn't happen and just make some dope records. You know what I'm saying? And just swag it out. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, man.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
You know, so speaking of music, you know, we had an album that I actually was quite surprised about. And we reviewed Snoop and Dre's album. We're seeing, and I think this is I gotta take not me personally, but I feel our generation and just like the smidge just before us, I feel there's this run of artists that you and I came up on, right? That are still making like really good music. You know, and there's a host of artists out there, but in the last week we got, after a lot of years of us hearing about this album coming out, we finally got it, and it's Redman Muddy Waters 2.
Right.
And it's just funny, we had talked about this the other day, man. I was with you at this show in Miami with when Redman was performing. I forgot. I always
it was the EFN
Redman,
record
when I talk
release
about
party.
Artists. Yes. Shout to EFN.
It was the EFN record release party for another time that I was DJing at, and Redman was the headliner.
He was he was a headliner, right?
And that's where he was DJing, and he was killing it with the mic check and shit.
Yeah.
I spoke about that last week. You weren't here, but we spoke about that, and I'll recap. Right, so basically, back in late, mid '80s or early mid '80s in South Florida, you had Jam Pony Express, ghetto style DJs, Uncle Al, and all of that, and they developed a style called mic checking, which basically was they played the record when it was recording a mixtape, or when they did it live, they played the record, and the record is saying its verse, and they'd cut it out, and they would fill in their own verse, which rapped with the verse before and the verse after, and they called that mic checking, right? And it was dope.
Yeah.
And at this show when Redman did that, he did that so seamlessly. It was amazing. And what I was saying the last episode 10, you guys check that out. What I was saying is Redman and his hype man were so in sync with their performance. It was like we was listening to the record, dog. They knew the hype man knew all of his lyrics. They weren't off beat. It was like unison. It was like how the Locks were when they battled the Diplomats during the Versus era. You know what I'm saying? Like they all knew each other's lyrics. It was like if the TV was off and we weren't watching it, we think we was listening to the record. That's how professional these guys took their craft. And Redman is one of those guys who takes his craft that professional. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
absolutely. So he drops the long-awaited Muddy Waters 2, and again, Redman is another one of these artists, man, that we've been listening to him since 1992, man. Got all his records.
Yeah.
And it's just wild to me. And we'll get into that one in a second. But like even some of the freestyles he would drop, it's like I look at artists like him, Common, that there's this sport that they still treat the game like, where you don't see a lot of the new generation go up to the radio station or to Sirius and they get excited to just because at one point or another you're proving grounds, but then you speak about egos, but not from a super egotistical sense, but guys like Redman and Common and that are still putting out quality music. There's this level of like, yo, I'm still the shit. Like they still have that in them, and Redman displays that like a lot. And and he drops this album, and I gotta say, and I got a couple of records like I was looking at that I was going back to, but I was actually really surprised of how good this album was. Now look, there's some records I was like okay with, but you kind of saw like Redman has he has a wide range, man, that I feel sometimes gets taken for granted as far as like just different production he can touch on and different songs he can craft. when you just think of him from the 90s, I mean, we all love There's a Dark Side and What and the original Muddy Waters. But at this stage of the game where he's at, where a lot of people would think like, you can't rap. You're already, such and such years old. Well, this isn't his best album, but man, like I think he put out a project that's better than a lot of the stuff that's out right now.
So here's the funny thing, right? As far as Redman is concerned with what you said, how he gets excited to come up and freestyle and stuff like that. They're cut from a different cloth, right? They came from an era of originality. Everybody didn't want to sound the same. There was no biting.
Right.
Right? It was based on your skill, right? In order to promote your music, because there was no internet like that, no social media, you had to go and do promo runs. You had to go to radio stations, the hottest radio stations in those markets.
Right.
You had to go to the big store retailers. You had to go to the mom and pop shops that sold your record. And you were making a lot more money because you was selling physical merchandise, right? A physical medium. So your deal was based on mechanicals, right? Now, the funny thing is, like, I don't know if you ever watch Sway in the Morning or listen to Sway in the Morning on Sirius XM. Anytime he has these artists come up there and kill it, and he calls them a hyena, and he always says, yo, listen, you know how many new artists come up here and their manager says before we go on the air, like, yo, listen, like, don't bring up anything about freestyling. They don't want to freestyle. Yo, how are you a rapper and you don't want to partake in the sport of rapping?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So nowadays you have artists that are mainstream, and it's not about the art. It's just about getting paid. That's the only reason why they're in this game. They didn't love it. They found a way that they can make some money.
Right.
But those are the artists you're not going to hear from them 30 years from now. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference.
That's a good point, because again, we're talking about an artist that his debut album was in 1992. 1992, and his debut record I think was in 91 with EPMD with
K Solo and all of them on there.
What?
I think K Solo was on that record.
So
I don't remember what the record was. It was so long ago. But I believe
Headbanger.
K Solo was a Headbanger? It was Headbanger, right?
Headbanger.
Yeah.
So that's 1991. It's 2025, man, and he dropped. Now, mind you, there's a lot of records on here. There's 27 records on here.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, I was like, whoa.
But that's not unheard of for Redman, because his first album, album had it had it had over 20 tracks, if I'm not mistaken.
20, yeah, that's a good point. I completely forgot about that. That's right.
And here's the funny thing is the way that the deals were structured early on was those deals were structured for 10 songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like 10 songs was what the record label basically required you to produce as an LP.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, they was like, yo, we just going to put out more than 10 songs. We going to feed these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
What's the last time Redman had an Eric Sermon production or beat on? It's been a while. Like, I don't remember Eric Sermon doing anything in any recent Redman albums, but
right.
He did, the production on here, again, it varies. You get a lot, but you do have the remnants of like the Redman that we all came up on. But the thing I say as well, when we talk things we have to consider with the, I hate saying the older artists, but the adult contemporary artists, right? As far as like from our age group, we got to remember sometimes, man, like where you're talking about the Wu, be it the Wu, be it Redman, I don't know, Q-Tip, whatever that came from the 90s. I mean, we've got to remember these guys are like not in that world anymore when they were making that kind of music. So I guess sometimes to expect them to roll back and revisit the music that they did and trying to make it in like 20, 30 years later. Like that doesn't make sense. You know, people grow.
Right.
And I feel like if you're still the same artist from 30, like there's a problem. But that being said, I feel, and to the point I was making earlier, I feel this generation I feel our era is like the first era where, rappers aren't out of here at like 30. The lifespan of an artist when we were coming up, like it was between, you had the kid rappers, but like at average, it was like 18, 19 to like 26, 27. Crazy part is,
right,
Jay-Z was almost kind of like that beginning of like, yo, you don't got to be that young. His debut album he was like 28 years old. But to the same point, I think this era, and you spoke on it as far as just being cut from a different cloth.
Mm-hmm.
These artists from that era that are still doing it, they're not doing it half-assed, man. And they're not putting out albums like artists are today, like every 2-3 weeks or every month and a half. Like they come from the school of like, it takes time to put a cohesive project together. And personally, I still believe that,
the funny thing is back then they would take like 6 months or a year to put together something, right?
Yeah.
What was unheard of at the time was Black Moon Enter the Stage. They said they completed that in 30 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which was crazy. But other than that, an artist would take time, put a body of work together, release it, and take a whole year to promote and tour that album before coming out with more music. Now the whole thing has flipped. It's about how much you can put out. You know what I'm saying? But that clip that I showed you that did not play was the wrong clip anyways. I found the correct clip, and I want to show that. And let me know if you can hear this.
All right.
All right. Let's see if you can hear this. All right. You can hear that?
Yeah.
You hear it? You can hear it, right?
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it. You're gonna see a young KNS in this video.
Made it here tonight to celebrate the album.
I was at this one too.
Another time by DJ EFN. Why we celebrate? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because DJ EFN has put together an album that celebrates classic, current, and future hip hop. Can I get an amen?
Break it down, break it down, break it down. Break it down, break it down, break it down. Break it down, break it down, break it down. Like, hey, baby, you
Yeah, there I go right there. You see me?
Yeah.
baby, you
Oh, wait. There goes the KNS laptop. You see the KNS laptop right there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, I remember this night.
Yep.
You know how I get down, man. I'm the paradise architect. You be paralyzed off the rip. My heart dark as the black.
I'm out here with EFN, man. Celebrating real hip hop. Make noise for real hip hop.
Oh, there I go with Mother Superior. But anyways, yeah.
Mother. That's who I was.
That's
who it was. I was thinking like, is that Mother Superior?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
That was
good times.
That was a good night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I think Kweli was there. He was spinning that night too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, I think Kweli was not performing, but he was spinning. Yeah. Because they actually filmed the video for one of the songs that was on that album. It was Recognized, okay. Redman, and Kweli that they filmed that night. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, those guys, man. 2024, there was a lot of veterans that came out with music. You had Rakim put out a whole album that he produced. Yeah, and rapped on. You had the LL and Q-Tip album, which was hot garbage, unfortunately. Not because of LL, but because of Q-Tip's beats. after that last Tribe album came out, I was like, what's going on? Listen, I know you're not trying to sample because, sample clearances and all that, but bruh, you know what I'm saying? Go have a musician make some custom samples for you, like how Premier did with the 2 Prime albums, or get some royalty-free soulful sample packs, or subscribe to TrackLib and give me what I need, because that album and that LL album was not it with the beats. You know what I'm saying?
It just didn't match. It didn't match. I mean, yeah, it didn't match. They tried. It just didn't match.
And Common was ridiculous.
That was a great album.
And there's a bunch of other stuff that came out that I just can't tell you off the top of my head. But it was a good year for veterans coming out with music. And now Redman just dropped this, Muddy Waters, too. And the Fat Joe we reviewed last week as well. Amazing. I mean, he had a lot of trap sounds on there, trap style songs on there, which I do like trap stuff, especially when people like him or Dave East is on it, because they're actually spitting over a trap beat instead of like slurring their words and doing the mumble rap, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
But he has some joints on there. Fat Joe definitely has some joints on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. It's dope to see. It's dope to see. The art again, like artists that we came up on that they're still putting out quality work. And like I said before, is Redman's best album? No, but I mean, there's records on here, man, that really undeniable. Like obviously he got Method Man on there too. That's pretty much a staple. There's another record I really liked on there was What's Hot. That was one that was a good one. The one that kind of it didn't catch me off guard, but I was like, hey, yo. Where he had the record with all, like, practically every New Jersey artist that you can ever think of.
The Light It Up record, yeah.
Mickey D, freaking Elder
Digger.
Sensei, Tretch, Vinny, like Queen Latifah, everybody.
Lords
so
of Underground,
yeah, right.
China Live was on that.
Yeah, Hakeem Green.
You know what I think? I think because he didn't put out music for 10 years, that he decided to show versatility, to see not only his core fans, but if he can appeal to some new fans. I think that was his strategy. That he was like, oh, I've been working on this music. Let me just give it all to you guys and see what sticks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, again, like, I guess if we give to give the tip percentage for me, like, I'm gonna give it a 30%, man, because I mean, number one, I'm a big out of the 27
songs, you giving it 30%?
I'll give it a 30%.
All right, so hold on. Where is the banner for that? Bam. Let's see if that is that. There you go. So here we go. So you say you giving that joint 30%?
30%. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 30%. Redman, again, I mean, it may be a little biased, but he's always been one of my favorite artists. And I rate artists as well. And this is when this is us talking, like, you rarely hear the term MC. Redman is an MC. Like KRS-One, you and I were on stage right there watching KRS live. Like, it was like 0405. To this day, I think the best live stage performer ever in hip hop. And Redman is right there, man. And then when him and Method Man get together, it's a damn, like, that's a show in itself.
All right, so Ray just got back, or Mink got back. You tipping on this Redman album?
Yeah, I'm tipping.
How much?
30%.
There he goes.
I'm tipping. I'll tip. I said tipping. I'll tip on that album. I'll tip 30%. All right, but before we do anything, let for everybody who's viewing and everybody who will view in the future, because we're going to post it on YouTube, right? Please like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube at No Gratuity. Yes. If you like our content, let us know if you have any suggestions. We pay attention to that stuff. Also on our YouTube, if you look in our about section, I think that's what it is. All of our social media links are there. So, we're on Twitch, we're on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. And did I get all that, guys?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, right? It's at No Gratuity Podcast on everything except, I believe, X is No Gratuity Pod, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, yeah, you're right.
And YouTube is at No Gratuity. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. We try to do this every week.
Yep.
At No Gratuity, right. We do this every week, and we also put out the full episode and also segments as well. You know what I mean? So a little bit of for everybody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So until next week, anybody else got something to say?
Nah, man, we here 2025.
Yeah.
We here.
Let's see what this year's got in store for us.
Yes, sir. All right, good. So y'all stay tuned. Next week will be the second show of 2025. Also, next week, I'd be an idiot if I didn't say this to the people who are watching or who will watch. Starting Tuesday next week, which is the first Tuesday of 2025, at DJ KNS, at DEEJAYKNS on YouTube. My Tuesdays from the Bottom beat series launches next week. You know what I'm saying? Every Tuesday and Thursday, there will be some content on YouTube with me in this studio here, picking a record, sampling it, making a beat, and just posting it. So y'all can tear it down. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. But that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have No Gratuity. We're going to have the DJ KNS joint. And Bobby Love, you got a project coming out?
Yeah, I'll be making the official announcement as far as release date next week. We're working out little kinks here and there, but 2025 is going to be pretty big. I think for all of us, man, it's going to be a pretty big year.
Word. And Mick, I know you mentioned last week that you got something coming out as well. Go ahead and plug that real quick before we get out of here.
The new Slim is dropping this year. EP to be exact. So, we're just gonna tease everyone at first, drop a little EP, which is gonna be fire, by the way. Shout out to Slim. And it's coming. That's all I gotta say. It's coming.
All right, y'all. Sign out.
Next week.
All right.
Peace.
Hey, word,